All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Aquatic Morning Show. We are in Houston today. But we've got Victoria Lee and we've got Zach from Vivvy, and we've got a good show for you guys today. So real quick, let's see who we have with us. We have got Bigfoot Fish Tanks, Monster Fish Gal. Let's see, I'm doing this without my glasses too. So Jennifer Weaver, Mark Sturleson, Silver Creek Aquatics. Jennifer Weaver.
Good morning, Damaris.
Let's see. Me. Keep going. Jenna P. Greg. Good morning, Greg. 3G. Demarius Riviera. Good morning. Linda Worth. Good morning. Scuba Steve Vlog. Pile Aquatics. New Local Austin. All right, I hit the bottom of the screen. So,
oh look,
yeah,
Vivvy on there.
We have got a Vivvy HQ headquarters in Brickley Bell. Good morning, Brickley. All right, so you guys, today we have brought Mr. Zach back to talk more about Vivvy, but we've got a little special thing we've got going on. I wanted to make it easy for you guys to understand how it go by. Actually kind of setting the account up, but setting your tank up to be able to sell your fish, because this is different from selling on any of the other sites. This is like you have your own tank, you create the tank, you put your fish. Yeah. So we brought Zach back to tell us all about how to do that today. And then Miss Victoria is our guinea pig.
I'm probably the worst person to use for this part of the segment, but I'm here.
No, I think you're perfect.
that makes you perfect, right?
That's right. Exactly.
I feel like I'm walking into darkness and I don't know what's in there.
Never know what you're going to get with me. Keystone Clash, good morning. Welcome. All right, Zach, take us away.
All right. So I think, just real fast to preface, I'm sure there's someone out there that doesn't know what Vivvy is. So I'll just say real fast. Vivvy is a brand new, relatively brand new aquatic livestock marketplace. So it's a place where people can come and buy fish from people breeding them or importing them throughout the country. A place for people to sell fish if they're breeding stuff at home, make a little extra money, pay for some of that fish food that you're shelling out on a regular basis. And then also a place where you can just kind of come in, post pictures of your tank, so you can, kind of share your fish hobby experience with people. And then also a place where you can learn a lot about different types of fish. We have a lot of really exciting learning articles that are going up, in our learning center. We had a really cool one written by our chief aquarist about rasboras that went up this week. So we kind of do a little bit of everything in the fish industry.
Definitely.
So I know a lot of people that are in the comments here, and Victoria and Jess also have been interested in what it takes to sell, get signed up and sell. And I think that's kind of what we're going to go through a little bit. We'll see how that works. Just to let you know, we do, Vivvy is always improving the site. Our production team is always going in and improving a lot of things. So our seller dashboard, I want to tease it, is going to be changing in the near future to make things easier and to manage all around. So some of the stuff we're looking at are, we'll go through setting up right now, but some of the listing things will change to be easier within the next couple of weeks, ideally.
Well, as long as it's easier.
So,
yeah. It's so nice. I can't imagine improving anymore.
Right. So, it is.
Yeah. So Victoria, why don't you go ahead and share your screen?
All right, here we go. Yeah. I'm nervous.
Pop that back up.
There we go.
Wow, that looks like Vivvy. So number one thing that everyone needs to do anything, other than browse and shop, is to sign up as a user. So number one thing is to sign up. Victoria has already done that, and she is logged in. So that's where you start.
So
but from there,
when you go to say you were very first before this step right here, you would go in and kind of like fill in your info, and then it would send you an like confirmation of your email, right?
Correct.
And then it'll come back once you go through that email, and then you'll go right into this stage.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you would, you saw the sign up button that was just there. There you go. You see a sign up where you put your email in, you create a password, then it sends you a confirmation. You click in, and then you can come back in and sign up or log in. So go ahead and log in. Ideally,
no, I don't feel
password, don't tell me what to do. And from here, assuming you're going in to do stuff with your profile and not just shop, you would go into my profile. And this is the screen where you come and do everything about yourself. So you have already kind of go ahead and hit that settings button real fast on the right, to the right. Yeah, so this is a screen where you could put in your logo, your name, your username, your bio, all that stuff. If you go, and then your store name is what you're actually selling stuff under. So we need your real name just because that goes on shipping labels and things like that. But then and also we need that to pay people out, funny enough. And then the store name the display name is the only one that people are going to see in a public manner. Location, you don't have to click that button at the top, but we do need an address if you are a seller. It's very important to put an address in. So just FYI. And then the next one, social. What that is, that's where you can put all your YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, any of your social media links. So it could be TikTok, so people can access you in other ways.
Oh, see, I had not gotten this far yet.
So currently Vivvy doesn't have a great way to let people interact with each other, like to send messages. But a lot of people will say, if you have questions, DM me on Instagram or something. And that's a really good way to get around, saying, hey, I saw this in your tank. Ask questions a little bit. Also gives you a little bit extra advertisement to your channels. There's some fish stores that may, create a Vivvy profile and not sell anything, but just say, hey, come visit us on our Facebook, follow us on Facebook, leave reviews. There's lots of different uses you could use with that part.
But now, tell me if I'm wrong. If they do that, if they were to just go and just create it and then have the links go to their stuff, I mean, that's kind of like just using y'all, really, isn't it? Because they're not setting up a tank. They're not, they're not selling their fish on your site. They're just using you to get to their site.
Yeah, it's kind of a way to, ideally, I would say a vast majority of your local fish stores throughout the country are not actually selling online at all. Mm-hmm. So they would be using Vivvy as a way to promote their business, right?
Okay.
So part of what we want to do is kind of create that community. So that's, part of what's involved with some of that. Okay. Obviously, we love people we want people selling and buying and all that. But if we're here to, have ways where we can connect people together, that's an added bonus.
Well, and then in the long run, they may eventually start adding fish, or they'll have somebody that's seeing the site that'll go and sign up.
Yeah, realistically, once you see the amount of people that are successful, you say, hey, why can't I be part of that, right? So that's some of that.
Right. Okay.
And then the other tab that's at the top there, the account, just gives you a chance to change your email and password, and all that kind of information. So if you wanted to change your email because you blasted it on a YouTube video to the entire world, that's an easy way to do that.
Accidents do happen.
Last time I was on the show, one of our people said, "I can't believe you wrote your password while you were on the video." That was on a not a live site. That was on a fake site. And that's all changed. So like, we're not here to blast security issues.
Right.
Okay?
Oh, that would suck.
Think about that kind of stuff.
I've never done anything like that. I don't know what I would do in the event that I did.
You get a lot of emails, a lot of spam. That's what
which is why when I make up fake emails for something like this, it's something pretty innocuous, right?
Yeah.
All right, you're good in there, Victoria. Go ahead and get out to the regular My Profile. So just click on the any other part of the screen. Cool. Now, if you scroll down just a little bit, right below your bio, I already okayed you, but right below your bio, there should be keep going down a little bit more with your arrow. It's not there, so we're looking at something that's invisible.
Oh.
So that space, like in between where it's gray and your bio, there would normally be a button that says "Ready to sell on Vivvy" with a question mark.
Okay.
So if you, right there. So if you're on a computer and you want to become a seller, you would click on that button. I approved you this morning so we can, actually do some of this stuff here and make it like sort of real.
Oh man, it's not because I'm awesome.
That's actually more accurate. That's more accurate. So what happens in our process, people hit that ready to sell button, and then it comes to me to, verify them and see, like, does this look like a person we need and, whatnot. And then I send them a basic startup email, like, here's how to get started. So from here, like, the next thing you really want to do to become a seller, what you need to do is start creating tanks. So you can click over to that tanks tab. So you're in listings.
I'm sorry, I'm really not seeing that. Give me a.
No, that's we want.
It says Victoria Lee creates tanks right beside.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yep. And that go ahead and click into that. And if you're having a hard time seeing it, then other people probably are too. So like, this is why this is useful, right?
Right.
Yeah. Here, we're gonna go back once more. So we're on the main screen, guys. I'm not gonna move my cursor like a sociopath. I'm gonna go straight to our destination. Here we go. So we're gonna go right here to my tanks. It's right under your logo and your name. Right, and then that's gonna pop up. All right,
yep.
We're in.
Yeah. Use that for the replay. And then what you see here is a button that says plus and then add new tank. So, go ahead and add a tank. And, name a tank for something you have behind you, maybe, or whatever tank you want.
There you go.
It's coming. Period. And here's where you can write a description. We don't need to do that right now. It's not really required.
If you were selling a certain type of fish in that tank, is that where you would want to describe that fish, or is that?
So yeah, I like to put what is in the tank. If it's a tank that I'm just displaying, that I have a tank at my house, I say like, this is my 20 long planted tank. I have these plants or like I use these fertilizers. I have this substrate. I have this light. That's kind of, what's really good for that kind of thing. If you are a person selling fish, you could say, this is my tank for fish that I'm selling, or you can break it up into different categories if you're selling fish. So this is my guppies tank. This is where I put all my guppies. But they are, in reality, they're all in separate tanks, but this represents like all my guppies for sale.
Okay.
Right? Because so if you've got 30 tanks at your house, you probably don't want to have all of them in here if you're selling out of all of them. So I've got like 18 or something right now.
I've got like about 30, 35, 40
gallons. So the idea is if you are selling like one species, like guppies or something, you're creating a guppy tank. then each tank here should be representative of the same water conditions. So chances are, if you've got guppies, you're keeping them in one water condition. If you've got discus, they're in a different water condition. If you've got African cichlids, they're probably in another water condition.
Right.
So you would have, at least 3 different tanks for those.
Okay.
So my personal tank on Vivvy, like I've got one like, here's my tanks, and then I've got one that's fish for sale. And those are all my tanks are the same water parameters. So
now,
pretty basic.
People that are clicking through Vivvy, do they see like people that just put like and want to keep up with their tanks? Do they see that? Like, do they see like the fish for sale? But do they get to see your personal tanks too that you put on there?
So any tank that you create here is public. So don't create something that you don't want the world to see.
Okay. Well said.
But this is also, Victoria, this is also where you could get pretty creative with the tanks that you put in here. Kind of like I said, Alex Williamson's got, he's got a tank. Which way am I at? A tank that are like his art tattoos and stuff. So you could do a lot of different cool stuff in here. So you have your tank, you have a description. You already put fresh water, so the type of water is important. If you're using RO water or not, that's a good button to click. And then the last one is size, which you could put whatever size is there, and then go ahead and click save. So this is so you save the tank, right? But you're still kind of editing it right in this screen. So what's really cool on this one, if you scroll up just a tiny bit, and we don't need to do this right now, but you can look at this later. You see that, but the tab where it says media, tank parameters, and inhabitants. So if you hit media, that's where you can add photos. I think you do up to 6 photos maybe of the different tanks. So
media being the soil or sand?
No, media is multimedia, so images.
Oh, okay.
All right, now what?
Your tank is Fritz.
Yeah.
I hope that's
it's
a sponsor.
Powered by Fritz, baby.
Then you can go up again. So that's adding image, and then you can go to tank parameters. And this is something that I think is really important for sellers to do. Some sellers like it. Some people put the effort in. Some people don't. This allows you to put all your tank parameters for whatever your tanks are, and this will show up in each listing that you make. So it is valuable to have your relatively accurate tank parameters in here. So it's actually asking for a number for hardness. So what I usually recommend is, at least do your pH and your temperature. And then the rest of it is based off of what you have available.
And the more you
I need
put
to check the pH on mine.
The more that you put in, the more information your customer
buyer
get.
Correct.
Yeah.
So my example is always if you go to Oregon, say Portland, Oregon, the water out of the tap is like 6.5, and if you bubble it, it can drop down to 5.5 overnight with just an air stone or like a bubble in the water in a bucket. Whereas in Florida, the pH is like 8.0, and they're breeding cichlids out in wild with just super hard, super high pH. So if you have a fish going from 8.0 to 6.0, then it's gonna die.
Yeah.
So this kind of tells you like acclimate rather than just dumping it, right? But once you put your tank around,
I'm gonna be using this. I really like this feature.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. And the next thing to do would be inhabitants. And that shows up a couple different spots, but this is where you can add a fish. So go ahead and add a fish. Any fish.
Is that where you name the fish?
Or
that what kind?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's perfect. And
Did you guys notice that? It literally drops down a menu with options. So let's start with D because I'm looking for a discus. Okay, that one didn't come up.
I think if you put like a certain type of discus, it might come up.
Oh, okay. So let's
Like,
try
like a pigeon blood.
But so this is all based off of our database, and
it even gives you a scientific name. Wow.
So actually, of this is actually very important. So this is based off our database. We have thousands of fish in our database, but we are missing some in a case where we don't have what you're looking for. I recommend sellers just to email me or call me or text me or find me somehow, and then we can get it added to the database.
Now discus, plain general discus needs to be in
there. The scientific name has to be in our database in order to list an item for sale. So if you're just putting something into your tank and you're just a general user, you're not trying to sell it, you can put anything you want in there. But if you want to sell something, then we need to have a scientific name that matches it.
Which makes sense.
And that kind of goes with like our blacklist program, what's allowed, what's not allowed. Yes. So the question from Mark Pyle, can I list the same species from different locations? Yes, the scientific name is going to be the same for that. But in the common name, you could put rainbow fish dash, Tewa Creek or something. And we can get general localities. Killifish are a really good example of that, since especially if people are doing, I found it on this pond on this day.
And Goodyids is another one. A lot of Goodyids.
Correct. So scientific name has to be 100% accurate. Capital letter in the first word, lowercase letter in the second word, because if it's a uppercase letter in the second word, it still won't work. So it's a little temperamental. But with common name, we could be a little bit more liberal with. And what actually happens with that is our chief aquarist, when he goes to approve a listing, he will verify that the common name is accurate and that it matches what we want to say. So he does a lot of research in those, especially those areas, the regional issues. So that's kind of fun. So go ahead and put a quantity.
Where are we?
For your cardinal tetras.
Wrong place. All right, where do I go?
Quantity, just put in however many you have. Cool. And here's the thing: if you are adding a inhabitant, you do not need a picture. But if you wanted a picture, and it's nice to have them, you would upload a picture there. But go ahead and just hit save.
Of the fish that you just did at the top?
Yeah. And ideally it's one from your tank. So, you say, this is what my fish looks like in my tank.
Okay.
So what you've done here, and go ahead and just hit view tank in the bottom right.
Sorry, I'm looking. I have new tank right here?
Bottom right.
Oh, sorry. View tank, not new tank.
So this is the tank you just made. So discus tank that looks like Fritz. This is not this is not something we would really recommend, having a big label on there. So this actually is live if you go. I would recommend you just change this to like an actual tank or something at some point.
An actual fish.
Now,
a fish works.
Yeah. Now, for people that do sell fish, they can take and put their logo in the background of the fish tank, correct?
You can generally. So I don't think it's necessary, right?
Okay.
Just because every listing is going to have this logo. So if you look next to Victoria's name, there's a logo. And that logo is associated with every listing, every place where you have something for sale. It's going to pop up right there. So it should be everywhere. But if you had a logo that was in the back of the tank, that is, we would accept that. I've said before, we allow, watermarks or a logo would kind of fall into that category, something like a watermark in images. As long as it's not like covering up the fish, we don't want it like blasting. We want to be able to see the fish. But
you also take like you can't go to Google and just take a generic one of those pictures and use it, right? It has to be
Correct.
your picture.
We need your own picture. You need to have your own rights to do it. So there's copyright issues with that. And this has come up sometimes where people, they actually purchase the rights to use an image, right? From Google Images. And what that gives you rights to do is use it for your own website. But since we're kind of a third party, you still can't, just because you bought the image doesn't mean you have the right to put it on our site, because when we show it, we're breaking the copyright, right? So all the images have to be your own, even if they're not the best, like do the best you can. It's kind of what we say. And better images always get you better, listings. See, like that's, I like that better, but I'm not sure our friends at Fritz would. So go ahead and click into the tank again, if you would, and scroll down. So you see your cardinal tetras that you put there, and you see where it says list for sale. So this is the basic process of creating a listing. So at this point, you're just showing off, this is my tank with this fish in there. It's not listed for sale or anything right now. That doesn't happen until you actually go in here and click list for sale. And here is where you fill out all the information. I will tell you the description is not required because a lot of people know what a cardinal tetra is. If you just want to get things done really quickly, the fastest way to do it is to kind of scroll down and click all the, drop down menus and get all those out of the way, then click save, and then go back up and, create, these first feature, second feature, third feature. So pricing is required. And they've got these little eyes right there. If you hover over any of those little eyes, those black circles, it'll tell you what we're looking for.
These?
Right beside
username. So
I see. Okay.
It just tells you like this is going to be the price you're selling this item at.
Now, didn't you do a description of the fish earlier, or was that just the contents of the tank? And now you're doing specific fish.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. So that was what's in this tank. This is this specific fish.
Okay.
To save anything, you will need to have an image. You will not be able to create a listing without an image. So the question coming from Pile Aquatics is, can we control the region we will ship to? It may be okay to ship to southern U.S., but too cold to ship up north. Currently, there is no way to okay shipping regionally. However, that's where communication works out. So, what I say in your bio, say I ship Monday through Wednesday, Monday through Thursday, depending on weather. I ship within these weather parameters, 20 degrees to 90 degrees or 20 degrees, 100 degrees, whatever you do. And then if you sell something, communicate with me, and then our Vivvy team will communicate with the buyer and make sure that we can find an appropriate time for you to ship. So we're not going to penalize you for not wanting to ship to Minnesota right now if it's negative 10 degrees out.
So what you would need to do is just, how would you make it so that those fish aren't for sale, but maybe something else in that same tank is still for sale because of not being able to ship because it's too cold?
Yeah, if your worry is shipping in general because of the weather, then you could take whatever species, probably the least hardy species, and just reduce the inhabitant quantity to 0. And once the quantity is 0, then it will not be available to sell anymore.
Okay. Paul wants to know how to get in touch with you.
Call me, email me, text me. Where should I put my contact info?
I will put it in the description.
Cool.
Just send me, email me what you want me to put, and I'll put it in the description of this video, of this live stream.
Mark, I've got your email. I will send you an email within a couple hours too.
And I have his phone number too, so I can send him a text if I need to.
Yeah. Mark has signed up, and I have approved him at Tucson. Just need to get it. Listings actually made here, right? So these listing identifiers, if you stay on that, Victoria, go up one more second. So these are actually kind of fun. So these are exclusive on Vivvy. So this is the only place I'm selling online. Brackish, just because there's no other better way to put brackish. WYSIWYG. A lot of people doing like bettas, possibly discus, a lot of corals and stuff. They do WYSIWYG. Breeder packs. If you have a breeder pack, and this is currently the only way we can have multiple items being sold at one time is through a breeder pack. So if you have a trio of guppies, you click breeder packs, you put 2 females, 1 male, something like that. That's what breeder pack is for, or killifish, or whatever you're doing for those. If you just have 10 fish to sell, we do not currently have the availability to do that. That will be coming soon, is a multi-pack kind of situation. So all fish on Vivvy right now need to be priced out and listed individually.
All right.
But you can see things we ask for, things that are really important to us. Sex, you could put none or unknown. Age, it's good to know if it's a juvenile or adult. And then or egg, if it's a killifish, I guess. Keep going down a little bit. The one thing that's really important and different about us is the origin questions. Maybe they're up above. Yeah, they're way up above more. So one thing we really want to know is, were these fish captive bred or were they wild caught? And if they were captive bred, were they captive bred in the U.S. Or were they captive bred internationally? And then were they captive bred by the person selling them, or were they captive bred by someone else? We have seen that a lot of our buyers really want something that was bred by a local aquarist, and the assumption is that the assumption is that those fish are hardier and healthier and have been taken care of better than in a mass-produced farm.
Yeah.
So we want people like anyone who's on the channel listening right now, and Jess and Victoria, if you got stuff you're breeding, like that's really helpful to us.
Yes, definitely.
And that's what people want.
Because
the other thing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was saying the other thing.
A lot of people are looking specifically for either captive bred, homebred, or So.
And the other thing we really notice is that there's a certain amount of fish that you have listed for sale that really makes things move. So if you have one item for sale, it's hard to get a sell, right? Like, oh, I'm going to buy 2 Cory cats from someone. I mentioned that because someone just did buy 2 Cory cats from someone and paid $25 shipping. $25 is really cheap overnight shipping, but like if you've got $3 a fish, that's hard to justify, at least for me. So if you have what we see is really about 10 items, if you have about 10 items you can post and list, that's where the sales really start to come in.
Right.
We've got our data has shown us that if you got 50 plus items, then you will be probably one of our top sellers. But if you've got that like 10 to 20 to 30, like 10 plus is right when things start to really move.
Awesome. And y'all are really needing people to start posting on there, right?
The more the better. Like the way that Vivvy works is by getting community input. And this isn't just us coming out to us. We were way before I was brought on. Our owner was asked for this specific thing. Like people said, we want to sell our stuff and we want to buy from local breeders. So that's why Vivvy exists. We did this for, the hobby. Obviously, we got to make it work whatever we can. But like, this is something that people throughout the country have really asked for.
Whip says that's why he seldom orders fish online. His $35 catfish cost him $115. Well, if they were selling on Vivvy, it wouldn't have cost that much.
That would have been $60.
That's right. That's right. All right.
So basically, where Victoria was filling out that listing sheet, basically you fill out that listing sheet, and then you would publish. You would click the publish button, and then what happens from there is that our chief aquarist will go in and review the listing, which will take 24 to 48 hours. If it's your first listing, it will likely take a little bit longer.
Okay.
Because that's usually me reaching out like, hey, I see you don't have an address, or can you add this to your profile, or you have your email in your profile. Can you please remove that? Certain things that are not allowed, I go in and just double check before things get approved.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a good thing though, because,
Yeah. We want to keep everything a level ground for everyone.
Right.
So that's part of it. So, but after that, the more listings you have, the easier it gets to approved and the faster they go. And then once they get approved, then it's available to sell. As you said, if you want to stop selling that item, I generally recommend just dropping the quantity down to 0 on your inhabitants. And then you could also go in and unpublish it theoretically too.
All right, cool.
So now it looks like Victoria just scrolling through
the
website. So go ahead and what I was talking about the educational stuff earlier. Go ahead and click that Learning Center tab at the top.
Right here?
I'm not. Oh, it should be on the home page.
No, it was right there. Go back to your bars where you just were. Okay, now see it's right there. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah.
Hey, there we go. And once it maybe scroll down, sometimes it takes a second for it to log on. So I was talking about the Rasbora article. That's the first one right there. So that's kind of a fun article. And you can kind of see there's different things from species things. Or you need to change it manually. Does it quality? I think Mark, you're asking about the quantity, maybe.
Yeah, like if you've got 15 fish and somebody.
Yeah. So if you have a certain quantity in your inhabitants and somebody buys 5, then those 5 will be removed once the order is fulfilled. So once you click fulfill on the order, then that will drop automatically.
Okay, well, now I'm confused now. So if I thought you had to list the fish individually unless you went and set it up as like a breeder pack. So
yeah, so the fish is listed individually, but you can buy in multiples.
Oh,
so you can't say this is $20 for 5
five
fish
individually, and it's going to decrease every one they do. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so you can't say $20 for 5 fish, but you can say $5 per fish, and then they can give me 4 or 5.
Got it.
So, but once you fulfill, then it'll go away automatically. I think that answers this question. So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's the best way. Again, I'm teasing our new dashboard that's coming out soon. That's going to make inventory control much easier for everyone. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, hopefully next week, but possibly the week after. And anyone that is selling, I'm going to be reaching out to them once I have a set date on that.
Now, how long, because I know y'all said eventually shipping is going to change, but how long do you think it's still going to stay at the $25 overnight?
So it's hard to say. So we have a lot of things that our production team is currently working on to make things like better in lots of different ways. Like I think everything's good now, but it can all be better, right? Yeah. So they've got a lot of things on their plate. The shipping thing is one of those things that's in their bucket, but it's not even close to the top.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be several. I think it's gonna be several weeks still.
Okay.
That, like
Okay.
we can't give any even guess.
Right. Right.
However, what we're still saying is when the shipping changes to more regional, it still should be really cheap.
Okay.
So there's a chance if you're shipping one state away where it could actually be cheaper. It could be under $25.
Okay.
But if you're going cross country, it's still probably going to be that $35, $40.
Do y'all see y'all staying with overnight or going towards choice?
So our current plan, and things can always change. So I like always difficult to discuss. Our current plan for fish always to do overnight priority so that it gets there by a certain time. Like that. Right. We want to make sure fish arrive alive. Right.
Yeah.
Something like plants. Yeah. Something like plants that can go 2 or 3 days. The goal would be to have like a priority, like 2 to 3 day shipping option for those guys to get them a little bit cheaper. So like it depends on the animals. I think shrimp up for debate. Me personally, I would like to keep them at overnight. Right. A lot of shrimp breeders. I think I saw Grant on there earlier.
Yeah.
A lot of shrimp breeders keep telling me that that's not necessary.
Yeah.
So there's more to work out with that.
Okay. P&W Aqua, good morning, and also wants to know if can a seller require a minimum purchase of a dollar amount or quantity?
So that's a really good question.
Very good.
And it is actually something that we are currently working through.
Okay.
We are trying to really get away from the idea of minimum purchase quantities. So I don't have a great answer for that. If you are, once we have the multi-packs, that's going to help that out a lot. I will tell you a majority of our orders are in the $20 plus range. So we do have a couple people doing like a $3 Endler. And every time I see that, I'm like, oh, but it's really a minority of people that will have that small amount.
It's kind of like if you want to sell a minority, then that's just how you need to set it up right now. Is if you, a minimum. If you won't, just set it up that way right now.
Yeah. It's a way of right now. It's kind of think through a little bit of the best ways to do it. Maybe you raise the price on an item, or you have your breeder packs. If you're doing shrimp, you could have six females, 4 males, something like that, to get the dollars up if that's a big concern.
Yeah. Grant's gonna put his little word in.
I know Grant and I have had this conversation in the past, so I'm with you. I get it.
Right.
Still, if it's negative 10 degrees outside.
Yeah. There's always an argument.
Yeah, so that's why I want to keep that one up for debate. I'm not all powerful. So that's something that's definitely up for debate.
Most preferred source when buying.
So that was some of the marketing data that we've done. We got so many of these articles in here that are really cool information. Lets you compare your hobby to other people and stuff. So that's kind of fun.
Okay.
Then actually, Victoria, go back up to the top where it says fish. I actually have to go here soon. To the normal website.
Pick what needs to be most important. Throw it out there real fast.
Yeah. So all the way to the top, where the logo is and everything. So first of all, see that little bookmark looking thing? Yeah. Click on that. So what this is the watch list. So if you are looking for something in particular, you can go down and hit scientific name, or go ahead and hit scientific names, and you can hit add new and put any fish you want to buy. And then if any seller publishes it, you will get an email saying this seller published an item for something that you're watching.
Oh, cool.
So that's something that I can't tell you how many 100 emails I get from this. But if I want something particular, this will tell me
when it comes available.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking for this, so I'm going to leave that there.
Yeah. So, and then the listings one is if you see a listing, you'll see that bookmark too, and you can bookmark a listing and it'll pop it right there for something that somebody else is doing.
Awesome.
The other thing that's cool is if you just go up again and hit, keep going up under the Vivvy logo, hit the Vivvy logo. Oh, you did. And then go down to freshwater fish. Or you can just hit Malawi cichlids. That works. Or guppies. That works.
What did you say?
Hit any of those buttons.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now scroll down. Keep going. Keep going. All right. You see where it says 23 matches?
Go back up just a little bit.
Up just a second. Okay. Hit the little funnel thing that's right next to on the left of the 23 matches. So this is the filter. This filter is very powerful in that it will filter out any of those drop downs you saw in the listings. So if there was, what they eat or how big they get or if they're friendly or not, all that stuff will be down if you scroll down the filter. I use this filter a lot because it shows me all the seller names. So once you have items that are approved, your store will pop up there, and you can shop specific stores too. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But this goes through all the different things you can filter for.
Yep, that's cool.
So that it's very powerful. It's actually very unique. I don't know any marketplaces in the aquatic world that do something like this. But like what we need to make it work is more listings.
Yeah.
Because if I were to filter out like 12 different things right now, you may not get any responses.
Right. Yeah. Well, Silver Creek says it pretty on point that it's really cool, but come springtime, we'll have more likely to sign up. I am paranoid to do during the winter, which I totally agree. Shipping in the winter, even with heat pack, especially shipping up north where it's frozen right now.
Yeah, I've been ordering a lot of fish lately, and I've had a lot of good luck.
Yeah, it's just you take a chance.
It's a little bit funny to me because we're all, and me too, leery about shipping when it's really cold outside. Yet we're all still at home buying fish.
Yes,
that need to be shipped.
I know. I hope that they ship. Yeah, that's it.
I have an observation. Like, I'm looking at this, and there's so many people in my area. Not only am I getting like fish locally and supporting locally, but I'm also like seeing people that I can potentially build relationships with and just continue. Like there's Oak Forest. There's I used to live there. It's like literally 30 minutes away. Like I'm sure this guy does this all the time, but this is pretty cool. It's like you're able to grow your community as well.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, ideally. And what we kind of say to sellers too is that one way you could take if you are participating in a lot of swaps locally, you could take whatever fish you have, but then you could also take like a QR code, taking them to your Vivvy store and be like, hey, you can also buy other things on my Vivvy store, or keep an eye on me for future. So that it's other ways you can kind of promote yourself long term.
Awesome.
So if you're doing Aquafest or something.
Real quick, Zach, what any last words before we can go? We can always have you on again, of course, anytime to answer more questions. And I think you're going to see a lot more listings come spring. I think y'all are going to start really bumping up things for sure.
We're planning on it for the spring to go just real big. It's not this group is not the only group that's concerned about weather. When you are becoming a seller, our biggest concern is making sure that you are able to ship things safely and responsibly. That is like my number one criteria when I'm approving people. So that is a big concern.
I do have a question. Is there the option to pick up locally if other than shipping, if you're local to where that breeder is?
Currently, no.
Okay.
There may be a one-off situation where it makes sense or something. So that's where I say, have a good communication between myself and the seller. Like if the seller really wants to do it, like there's a chance. In general, we don't, for lots of different reasons, but a big part of it's safety.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want people meeting in a Walmart parking lot and, disappearing. So
I don't mean to smile when you said that, but geez, why would I smile when you said that?
I was smiling because we know.
I'm just like dying to get
how many people have you stolen from Walmart? That's all I'm questioning.
No, it's the other way around. I want to get stolen.
Lord. All right. Well, so I know you've got a meeting to get to. Thank you so much for coming on the show. And
hey, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And I'm definitely here to help you guys in any way that I can. So, yeah, thanks for coming on again.
Awesome. Thank you. I look forward to next time, whenever that may be.
You bet.
Hey, Zach, I don't know if I'm following you on social media. If I'm not, poke at me and I'll follow you back because I have to. You're so chill, so cool, so knowledgeable, and you're doing something really groundbreaking here. I love it.
Hey,
Definitely.
Thanks so much. I think I am following you, but I'll double check that.
Yeah. I wouldn't know how to find you. I mean, obviously I have your name, but
yeah, I don't
and
go by my name.
Miss Lori, she's like the
Can't wait
mod.
to see you.
She can throw it in chat too. So everybody can go there and like you.
Will we see you for Daytona and Dallas, Aquashella?
Hopefully, it's on my calendars, and we'll see. If I don't have a booth, I'm sure that I will probably be there regardless.
Cool.
I hope we see you there. You're awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. All right. Bye.
All right, everybody. We are still here, though, but we're going to go into the mid-morning break, and we will be back with some amazing news. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Claw hand.
It's a live ever mosh pit. So watch it, don't knock it, drop and fry every day, ain't gonna stop it. People saying hey and whoa and take it slow, it's out of control, but they don't know I got a mother loving biome. Nature, home, they're doing fine in a happy home. Making babies with their fathers and mothers and sisters and brothers is kind of gross, but you know that's the way it goes. Now I'm in the midst of a colony blitz. It all started with a batch of fry. The mama died, but the baby survived and grew up and thrived. Then the guppies kicked the breeding into overdrive. What was accidental and incremental blew up into an exponential and totally mental experimental hit. And the fish police threw a fit. I guess they just couldn't handle my live bearer mosh pit. Best not front on me about this company. Cause you can't spell guppy without that one and only G. You might think from this rhyme that I'm mucking up guppy lines. Ain't got no crooked spine or time to hear you whine. Stop the fish police. I'm making hybrids I desire to acquire and combine entire lines designed to inspire and surprise and advertise the rise of my monkey fighting live bearer empire. You looking all distraught, you think it's overstocked, but you got no shot to sway me, you're an afterthought. Yeah, I got guppies getting blitzed on duckweed. Had enough of these, well they don't stop and neither do we. You might call it a challenge, it's a foot per gallon. Your rationale is sound, but it's a little unfounded, cause I'm gonna be crowned as the best flippin' mud guppy breeder around. On this earth, and my mutts, I assert, are gonna make you a convert to a chaotic tank that doesn't take much effort or the hand of an expert. Look, all I did was rap and 5 guppies just gave birth. Best not front on me about this company, cause you can't spell guppy without that one and only G. You might think from this rhyme that I'm mucking up guppy lines. Ain't got no crooked spines or time to hear you whine. Cause you best not front on me about this company, cause you can't spell guppy without that one and only G. If you wanna do like I do, Fertilize plants with fish food. Don't fret about being overrun. Just chill and have some fun. I got the new genetics for the color theoretics. A different aesthetic. It's cosmetic and frenetic. If you don't get it, I do. I got a vision. It's eidetic. In your derision, well, it's really quite pathetic. Uh-oh. Now you see a bunch of fatties. They're looking fatty. You think it's fatty. And the plants are overgrown. Getting kind of ratty. It's all right, little laddie. Just look me in the eye and tell me who's your daddy. Best not front on me about this colony, 'cause you can't spell guppy without that one and only G. You might think from this rhyme that I'm mucking up guppy lines. Ain't got no crooked spines or time to hear you whine, 'cause you best not front on me about this colony, 'cause you can't spell guppy without that one and only G. If you wanna do like I do, fertilize the plant with fish food. Don't fret about being overrun. Just chill and have some fun. Yeah. You think I give a fudge about some algae? What, you afraid of shiznit getting too natural up in this biznatch? Good sir, dispose of your TDS meter, for it measures organic and inorganic solids, and it's more beneficial to learn the chemistry of your water. Thank you very much. If you want to do like I do, fertilize the plants with fish food. Don't fret about being overrun. Just chill and have some fun.
All right. Let's see. All right, you guys. As soon as Victoria gets back, I got some exciting news. This is the news that I wanted to say yesterday, but I didn't want to do it without her. So, all right. Needed drum roll.
I'm nervous, man.
All right. So, everybody knows Aquafest is coming up. We just kind of started talking about it yesterday. This is the show that is done in Slidell, Louisiana. It's a show that's about maybe the third of the size of Aquashella, but still, we have got an aquascaper, a feature aquascaper, and it is Miss Victoria Lee create is going
Dude,
to
I
be.
don't have a plan, but that's part of the plan, not having a game plan. Just be creative and just like improvising. This is going to be so exciting. And
Yes,
honestly,
yes.
Jess, it was all you. And I am so grateful that you even came to me with this. Thank you. I appreciate it. Like, sick.
Hey, everybody's got to have their, first start. And girl, I hope it really, really sets you up
I'm
for.
so nervous, but in the best way
Don't be
possible.
nervous.
Like it's positive nerves,
Yes. Yeah. No, you'll do well.
It's different doing it at home by yourself, and then doing it in front of people. Like it's completely different.
We have seen everything that you have at your house set up, and then we have seen everything that you put on Facebook. And I'm going to tell you what, if you would take those videos that you have on Facebook and just transfer them to YouTube Shorts, I mean, you would be like instant.
I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to do it because I've heard that before.
Figure it out. Too easy. But yeah, so
you know what I like the most about the situation is that we're all going to get to see each other. I know Stephen P is going to be there, Brooklyn Bell, Jess is going to be there, I'm going to be there. I mean, there's so many other names, Sam Scales.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's not as big as Aquashella, but the people that are there are going to make it as big as Aquashella. Right. I swear.
Definitely. Yes, definitely. And it's kind of like as described as like more of an intimate setting being like it's not as loud. It's okay, like this. I said it earlier. It's not like a big party like Aquashella is,
Spread out. I gotta find Jess. I gotta go mud to find Jess.
But it's still a great place to go and start selling your stuff, start getting your name out there. Just let's see. It was originally started with a club event, and now this year it has moved to it's not nonprofit any longer. It is being taken up and I guess sponsored big time by a company, and they're like putting it on, and then next year it's supposedly supposed to be bigger, of course, kind of like the Keystone Clash, how they've taken a club event, which is still a club event, which is great, and just continually keep adding things to it. And that's
so the Keystone was like this. It started small and now it's like, because it's pretty big.
Yes. Yeah.
I know Jason's going to be speaking in the next one. Jason Adams from Primetime Aquatics.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hitch a ride.
There you go. Awesome.
I really am going to try to go.
Yeah, Bunny. Yeah.
But this one, guys, if you want, here's my thing. Sometimes people go into these events or they go into the events and leave and they're like, oh, but that wasn't that great. If you want an event to grow and you might want to make it great and you're passionate about it, it's up to us. By sharing it, by commenting about it, by telling our friends about it, by we put in the work and the event is just that much better. More people attend, you know what I'm saying? The budget goes up. So if you like going to an event and you're complaining that it's not good enough, do more to help out, to expose them. So that's what I'm going to do.
Any kind of feedback is great, whether it's positive or negative, And
so if you're going to Aquafest, I encourage you, just use your social media and just let people know that this is going on. And don't forget, it's not so big that it's not going to be so scary. So that should be even more of an incentive. If you're a beginner and you want to get going and you want to get your engines kind of warmed up, this would be the kind of event to start out at.
Yes, definitely. And there are, it's kind of like it's as in ratio saltwater to freshwater last year. You got to keep in mind that we were still coming out of COVID, right? And a lot of it got real cold that weekend, and out of the blue, we had a freaking blizzard in Louisiana. The last Aquafest,
that's not a normal thing out there.
No. It was so cold. And then prior to that, though, they had another big scare of the human malware. And so some of the vendors had backed out, but this year we don't have that. Of course, human malware is still around, but it's not as scary as it was. And I think that the percentage is definitely for freshwater is going to be close, a lot closer, as in maybe not half and half, maybe 40% freshwater and then 60% salt, but it's gonna be good. In fact, I know betta people are going this year. They weren't there last year. I'm gonna have my guppies, and then of course Victoria and Stephen and Brookley, we'll be there.
If you're attending and you know any people that own pet stores, go to Swaps and let them know of the event. Remember, this is a very new event. They don't know about it. I have personally told a few people. Chris Lambert, which you guys met, he was on here. I was like, hey, do you happen to know about this event? Actually, it was here on the stream. I think we told him. And he's just like, no, I didn't. He didn't know, So he's coming. And then I've got Boss Aquatics, downtown Chicago, also very involved, goes to all the swaps, had no idea about it. And just by me bringing it up through one simple little DM, but that's how these events are really going to get going. Not to mention these people are small businesses. They're trying to make money. So you're not only doing yourself a favor by making it bigger and exploding it, but you're doing them a favor by giving them another avenue to push the stuff. Yeah. Let's grow together, guys.
Yeah, that's right. Let's push everybody, help everybody grow, and then in the end, everybody grows.
And I want to travel. Like for me, getting to go to Louisiana and then possibly to LA and then Daytona. I'm all for it. So the more events that open in different areas, the more destinations that we have to visit.
Yep. I haven't ever been to Daytona, and so this is going to be fun to go to Daytona.
Girl, that was one of my old stomping grounds growing up. 16 to 18-year-old Victoria was in the streets of Daytona doing her thing.
I keep forgetting you're from Florida. That's right. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah. Well, I'm from a lot of places.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. I'm trying to push.
So what are we thinking? Do we like the top knot? I've never done it on camera. This is usually my aquascaping maintenance knot.
Wait, what?
My top knot.
Look at that's what I'm pulling today, a top knot. So
I was literally doing my makeup like this in front of you, and I was like, okay, I'm not embarrassed. I'm just gonna do it.
Look, I'm in a hotel room in Houston.
I love that.
More no way I was going to be able to get all dolled up today. It was just like, all right, throw some clothes on, hope my makeup's all right.
Great.
Throw it up. Brookley says she'll be promoting locally if she can get an advertisement material. She'll spend a whole day driving around Baton Rouge, Hemming, and Covington, but not New Orleans. I agree. I think it should be I've heard that it was said that they want to be big enough to be able to move to New Orleans, and I don't agree. So cute. I think that it needs to be kind of like how Aquashella Chicago was called Chicago, but it was really on the outskirts of Chicago. I think that's how they need to do it. If they want to say it's in New Orleans, say it's in New Orleans, but really it's just on the outskirts of New Orleans.
Yeah, because it really isn't in Chicago. When I was Chicago, it's like Schaumburg, literally over an hour away from downtown Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what I think they need to do. I mean, call it New Orleans. Go for it, But definitely don't be in the middle of New Orleans because, Woo.
I'm excited. I've never been. I'm like, for me, it's the event, but I'm also going to take a little time to have some donuts out in the streets. I know they make some really killer donuts.
No. Beignets.
Beignets? Okay, you're gonna have to teach me. You're gonna have to tell me where to go, what to eat. I'm coming from up north, and I need to let loose, girl.
Right. There's only been one person in this world that I've introduced them to beignets, and they were not impressed. But that doesn't.
What is a beignet? Give me a summary.
So a beignet is the Louisiana, I guess French style donut, but it's not a. It's I don't know. It's the batter is a little different, and it has doesn't have glaze on it. It's got powdered sugar, and then you can eat it like that, or you can dip it in syrup or whatever. That's what I do. But
I want to try all of them.
Yeah, and they used to not have any different like donuts or different flavors, but now they do, and they do even have them, I believe, filled now, I don't know, put cream cheese or something down in it, I guess.
If we do beignets while I'm out there, me and you together, we're gonna have to do a mukbang.
Oh yeah, that's done because that's when I get beignets. They don't sell beignets up this far north in Louisiana. They're down south. So I do beignets when I'm down there. So that's a done thing. We'll have to do that like Saturday morning at the center.
I really want to try to do things before or after, even if it's just like a little breakfast or whatever. Because like the last one event, I didn't really do anything. I just worked, and it was hard
Jenna's
working.
got it. It's kind of like the taste of like a funnel cake.
Oh yeah,
powdered
you had me
sugar.
at funnel cake.
Yeah, they're kind of like funnel cakes.
Although funnel cakes have really declined since I was a kid.
No, these are beignets. They're amazing.
Oh, you just made me sweat and everything. I do, man. I've never tried making funnel cakes at home, but it's just because I respect them so much. But at this point, like every fair we've gone to in the summer, it is not it. Maybe it's a Chicago thing. I don't know, but
right.
funnel cakes just don't hit. They don't slap anymore. You know what does slap? Fish. Fish is life. I keep fish. I eat fish. Like, this is a fishy life.
Right. Well,
we play living like fish. No, I'm just kidding.
This is the Facebook page, you guys, for anybody that can and is interested in going to Aquafest. That's the Facebook page. It tells you where it's at and all that good stuff. Soon, you will have this lovely lady's face on the front of. It's got a website too. The website.
I'm gonna shoot you guys over a nice picture this week.
Okay, good. Let me.
I just want to send you something updated. Everything that I have is old, and I just like I don't want to show up and then be like, "Who's this imposter?" And then I'm gonna be like, "I kind of sort of faked it. That wasn't really me." No, I'm kidding. I want to give you guys something fresh.
Yeah, understood. No problem.
This is crazy. I can't believe I'm doing this with you guys. This is like unheard of. Yeah. Like I work from home. Okay, I work in my state. Like. I dabble a little with Aquashella, but now I'm like doing another event. It just like I'm really doing this. I'm really in this for life. This fish stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
Like I told Brian, if I get involved with another thing, I was like, it's official. Because it's one thing when it's one thing, but it's like when you keep adding, it's like, all right, girl, you're really trying to make a bet here.
Yeah.
I don't know where this is gonna go, you know. Like, what if I stop aquascaping, you know?
Well,
and then I just
look. Everybody has.
That worries me.
What do you call it? Seasons. Everybody has seasons, and even though you may be like right now is aquascaping and you're doing so well with it, and you know we're fixing to get you in the spotlight and everything. 10 years down the road from now, you maybe say, okay, I'm bored with this. I'm going to go this route. And it still may be in the aquatic world, but it's just down a different path. It may be more into your art, you know.
It worries me though, because I've done auto industry and I went from like knee deep, starting a business there. And just, I mean, my whole life was auto. And then it went from auto to like literally like live music and clubs and bottle service. And it was just like, you know, like, and then it went to beauty and then it went to fish. So it's never like a subtle transition. Yeah. So I love this so much. And I worry that one day I'm going to wake up and it's just going to be like, everything's just going to change my perspective. And it's going to be like, what am I doing? Like, this isn't it. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that ever happen to you?
I used to go through seasons, maybe every year, something new would come in. But now what happens is, I graduate to something bigger within side of the, I guess, genre that I'm in, you know? So like it started out, I was just raising, you know, fish to breed and sell. Well, now I am the Aquatic Morning Show, you know? So that's something I never in my dreams would have thought would have blossomed and bloomed like it has. So
Thank you, Bob.
Don't ever know where the next door is going to open and lead to, but you got to follow it.
I just like the story so much. I don't want it to change. It's been the most fulfilling, like the most home feeling out of all the like industries that I've tapped into. I don't know. The clubs and the live music venues, that was not it. Let me tell you, at all. Period.
Oh, that's for youngins. I'm gonna say that. That's for when we're young. And
I don't care how
we
much
can
money
do
you
our
make.
thing, get up the next morning after a hangover or work during a hangover.
You literally get off of work at like 1 a.m. in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And then after parties from the people that are playing at these venues are like, they're inviting you to like 5 other after parties. So you've got to work the next day at 5 p.m., but then you're getting to bed at like noon.
Definitely. Yep. I worked on the cruise boats, and that was, that was a life. Vibes Aquatics is sending us some hugs and some much love. Well, thank you, Vibes. Thank you so much. And back at you, man. Back at you.
That was funny. I really can relate to Brooklyn so much.
Yeah. But this is the Aquafest, the actual website. And of course it's counting down the days until we get there, like most do. But soon the face of Miss Victoria is going to be on this front page.
I better not be the only one.
No, we'll be on here too. The Aquatic Morning Show.
I don't care. But it would be cute if it just wasn't me, because that'd be scary.
Use that.
I'm gonna stick out like a sore thumb. I'm gonna be the elephant in the room. Everybody's gonna know exactly who to look for. Like you guys are gonna put a pin on my head.
Oh. Did you email me those?
I couldn't. They were too big.
Oh, darn.
I like the website a lot. It's very clean. I like the transitions. I'm a very marketing driven person. Like if you market your product right, I'm yours. I'm all yours.
What's it doing here? There.
Jess, you marketed me in here. That was like the morning who? The aquatic morning, huh? Saw one episode and then I was like, all right, let's see. How do we get in contact with this beautiful lady doing this iconic newscaster moment? I need to know names.
Oh, that's sweet.
Seriously, I was gagged. I really like it.
Awesome. Well, that's what we're here for.
I just don't like watching the news because it's so negative. This is the news without the negativity.
Right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. And don't do negativity. Bring in the positivity.
Let me grab my
in the positive vibes. Let's see.
It is currently 24 degrees in Chicago, Illinois, 9:49 a.m. I'm kidding.
No. That's too cold.
Not happening. Oh, please, you guys want to go see outside really quick? It's gorgeous.
Yeah, sure. Show us real quick. I'm gonna find this fishery. I've got 2 left to use.
All right, while you find the fishery, I'm going to show you guys really quick how stunning it looks.
Taking it solo. There you go.
All right. We can actually go outside. You know what? Let's actually go outside. I'm going to cover while we get across the room. Got to keep a little mystery.
Oh, yeah.
Mystery is attractive.
Landon showed a lot of my house the last time we streamed. I was no, you got to put your hand over the...
So, yeah, it's looking very much that.
Wow.
It's beautiful, though.
God bless. Look at all the snow. My goodness. You can keep that, Victoria. You like that better than sand?
Yes. It's freezing, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm literally out here just.
Wow. No, I can't handle it. I cannot.
There's still the ivies are still going strong.
Wow.
Yeah, they get covered up. That's completely covered in ivy, and then the snow melts and. Oh, it's cold. Good morning. What are you doing? Okay, we're gonna go back. Let's go back in the studio. You're so cold. Oh my god.
Are you out there in no shoes on, barefooted?
Look, no, this is not it.
Oh. All right, almost there. Okay,
Okay.
let's
Oh,
see.
my hand hurts. That was aggressive.
Aggressive.
Woo.
That was aggressive.
I love it. It feels good and everything. I just like it from a distance. Like I like to be inside. And if I go out, the beauty of living in a place like this is you go through the seasons. So in the fall, you've got your attire. Then the winter hits, and you can wear the big coats with the fur because it's like you can do that.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
I think with me that it's just, I guess the fibromyalgia, it intensifies everything.
Really? In the cold?
Yeah, in the cold.
Is it because of the dryness?
It's the central nervous type thing. It comes from your brain, but it affects like your.
She fell off the horse too many times.
Are you serious?
No, that's not why.
Girl, I was about to like,
who
oh
knows?
my god.
We do not
I was
know.
about to be like, that makes
fell
sense.
off the
Holy
horse.
shit.
A lot.
I mean, you probably did. I can imagine that.
Horses as much as I did, yeah, you're gonna hit the ground a few times.
Oh
It
my
just
god.
depends on the matter of how you hit the ground.
And how much.
Do you have any permanent injuries from that? From all that?
Probably some drinks were involved sometimes.
Okay, I sent you one of the pictures.
Okay.
Just one at a time, apparently, is how to get it.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my coat so you can see the coat that I wear when I go out in this.
Okay.
It's ridiculous.
All right, and then I found where we left off with fishery also. So, and then which email?
Jess Norman.
Okay. Let me get that.
So this is absolutely ridiculous, and it's actually Mongolian, and it's huge.
Wow.
But it's like, it's not anything pretty. It's literally like jean, almost like denim. Like it's very, it's a parka. It's just a parka, it's fancy, and it's just fine.
Breaks
Check
the
this out.
wind.
Oh, you have no idea, girl.
Blocks the wind. Good.
There we are.
Wow.
So it's like windy, you know, windy city. So yeah,
I like the
it.
fur. Mine is oh my gosh, mine is right here, and mine's almost identical except for it's brown, and the fuzz isn't as much. See?
No, you need it.
I love the fuzz. You see the fuzz on
Wait.
hers?
We could do a moment.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, my top knot's falling off. What's happening? It's too early for this.
Wait, what did they say? Y'all heard me talk about what?
Now I look like I was just up all night doing meth or something.
Naughty.
Jesus Christ. No, we're taking that. Oh, that's not the look.
All right, you guys, we're going to go into fishery. We haven't had one in a while. We're going to catch up where we left off with Alex. The secret is living in your aquarium. One of the smartest men I know.
And welcome to episode number 1.
I got to get decent for Alex.
Fishery. We're calling this one Mekong Damage. And this is out of Reuters. They posted an excellent interactive article that I found fascinating about the Mekong River and how its sediment and basically all of its flow has been butchered by the recent dam projects that China has been mostly behind. Now, there are other projects in other countries. Usually they're on the tributary of these rivers, but there are a massive amount of dams being built by China on the main stem of this up in the Tibetan Plateau. And this is where all the silt, the nutrients, all of the phosphates and a lot of the nitrates and minerals and all sorts of stuff come from for all the farmers and all the people, hundreds of millions of people in Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam. And so this is just an interesting article that's up, and I highly recommend you guys check out the link that's from it, because it's got all sorts of infographics that show where the water is flowing. I mean, even into Myanmar, in spots where it's not near the main stem of the Mekong, but it goes into watersheds that are affected by it, and it shows in actual infographics how much silt and fertile fill is being trapped behind these dams and not allowed to go downstream, let alone how the fish and things are cut off. So this plateau where the Mekong starts is in Tibet, and it runs to the South China Sea. And the Mekong River is a farming and fishing lifeline for tens of millions as it swirls through China, Laos, Myanmar, Thailand, and Cambodia before finally exiting and filtering out into the ocean in Vietnam. So the river is not bringing sediment and soil downstream anymore. And a farmer by the name of Chung, who didn't want to be identified by his first name, has grown rice for 60 years on his family's 10-hectare farm. And he said, without sediment, we are done. Life as we know it here is over. And he said that his crops have been steadily diminished, and now he barely brings in half of the 250 million dong, or $10,000 annually that he used to make just 5 years ago, and that his 2 children and several neighbors have actually had to leave the area and go find work in the city or somewhere else because the river can't support them anymore. So the dams, they're trapping sediment, and for decades, scientists and environmentalists have warned these project builders in China of the likelihood of this happening. And out of the 18 million people that grow rice in the region as farmers, it's a economy of $10.5 billion, and it's a food source for over 200 million people in Asia, according to the World Wildlife Fund. Estimates and calculations by the Vietnam Chamber of Commerce and Industry has also said that that the dam building, if it keeps going on, it has a rate of 7 new dams a year, and at least 4 of the 7 are being co-financed by Chinese companies in the near future. And China's foreign ministry said that the country accounted for only a fifth of the total area in the Mekong Basin, only 13.5% of the water flowing out of the Mekong estuary. So it's responsibility not to lower residencies downstream, because the water gathered was from ground soil and downstream. But according to scientists in every place but China, the scientific consensus is that the overall impact of China's upstream dams is not addressing this dramatic decline in sediment and also in oxygenation and turbidity. So the value of energy from these dams and hydropower on the upper Mekong Basin is estimated by the Mekong River Commission to be $4 billion a year right now already, with that nearly doubling with these next 7 projects as they come online. So the hydropower stations in China are holding back precious sediment and water from 65 million people that literally live on the Mekong River, let alone the 200 million plus that are living in the floodplain regions of the river. And it's something very major to talk about. It's something that could start wars, could start, civil unrest, resistance, famine, all sorts of issues. And it's also going to impact a lot of species of fish, considering the Mekong is also home to two of the largest fish that are in fresh water. So the giant stingray as well as the Mekong giant catfish are both natives there and are likely going extinct. And this is not going to help at all when you get rid of the mud and this fine silt and things that gives nourishment to, the algae, the phytoplankton, the little micro crustaceans, and the whole food web as it were. Now, on the river, they say that over 53% of the river's oxygenation and turbidity that kicks up this silt is on that 13% of river that is in Chinese territory of Tibet, which is arguably not China's territory, depending on who you ask. So it's an interesting situation. Now, also in Ethiopia, there's a similar situation with water. Sudan, Ethiopia, Egypt, all discussing water controls of the Nile and how dams are able to stop the movement of fish, but also oxygenated water and killing fish downstream, and making massive climate changes to desert areas when they make these huge reservoirs, some of the biggest lakes in the world by area, and are behind dams. And so all of this brings up a lot of ethical and logistical questions, but it's something to watch, something to keep your eye on, and hopefully something that they can come to some sort of agreement on, rather than seeing 250 million people plus have to completely change their way of life, and let alone the 800 plus species of freshwater fish that inhabit the rivers and estuaries that are a part of the larger Mekong delta and basins. So keep following that, and check out that link on my page under the community tab if you're a member. Again, it's only $1.99, and it really, really helps me do what I do here on the channel and spend my time and energy resources researching this kind of stuff. A lot of this I have to have subscriptions to get a hold of, and so forth and so on, and just the time that it takes. But I love doing it. There's nothing I'd rather be doing, and I like to be able to get it to those who don't have the money to get a membership just as much. So that's why I release them all eventually, if not right away. But thank you all for making that a possibility for those who don't have that $1.99 to spare right now. I really do appreciate it, and I'm sure they do. So I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on Fish Street tomorrow. And back to you, Jess. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Alex. Thank you very much for the fisheries. You guys, I got the hotel is knocking on the door saying, hey, we need you out of here. So I need to shut it down early today. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. I hope you got some answers from questions that we've been getting from Al, or from Zach, from Vivvy answered. And I hope that you can go and list some fish and get some fish sold on there. I think it's a really, really, really good website. And behind Aquatic Arts, they're doing a lot of good stuff. I'm really, really pleased to be a part of it. Other than that, that's gonna be it. Thank you for vibes. Thank you for the super chat. And I'll be doing a lot of evening streams coming up because I got a lot of work coming up, and I don't have a day off, I don't think, until till Valentine's Day. So we'll be doing some the Aquatic Morning Shows in the evening editions, I guess. But I'll be around. We'll be talking about stuff. And Victoria, thank you for being here again. Thank you so much. And you guys, we'll see you later. Oh, and congratulations.